Rabbi Asherman, you put out a very urgent and passionate appeal about the situation of the Bedouin. Could you explain what's going on?
Currently, the Israeli government has set legislation to the Knesset, which would, if passed, lead to the demolition of tens of so-called unrecognized villages which existed before the State of Israel, or in places where the Israeli army moved them when Israeli Arabs were still under a military government. It would lead to some 40,000 Israeli citizens, Bedouin citizens, in the Negev being forcibly transferred from their communities to these artificially created townships, which have become magnets for drugs and crime and poverty and despair. Most of their land they would be dispossessed of most of their land. And we think that this is, in the 18 years that I've been working for Rabbis for Human Rights, this would be the most serious potential moral tragedy that I've had to deal with. The idea that 40,000 people, I can't get my head around that number, and we're talking about such a moral tragedy.
Why do they want to do this? Do they not live productive lives where they
There are different excuses that it's better for the Bedouin, that we'll be able to provide services, which isn't true because there's many Jewish communities which receive services which are smaller and more spread out. It's basically wanting land for the Jewish people. And so we believe that this is not what the Jewish people is about. A poll we recently did shows that most Israelis have a way overblown idea of how much land the Bedouin want. They think the Bedouin are going to take over the Negev, and when we tell them it's only 5.4% of the Negev for over 30% of the population, most Israelis say that seems fair to them. And so we believe, still having very deep faith in our fellow Israelis and the goodness and decency of our fellow Israelis, that if we succeed in holding up a mirror so people understand what we're about to do in the light of day by Knesset decree, we don't think that this is what Israelis really would support.
Now, in your talk, you mentioned that you had produced a video with the noted singer and actor Theodore Bickel,
right,
who made an appeal on the part of Bedouin,
right,
and that had an effect on one of the leaders of this legislation,
yes,
Benny Begin.
If people want to Google Facebook Bickel Bedouin, you will find this. We're asking everybody to watch it and distribute it as widely as possible. We're asking people to, on our website or Facebook, you can get the link to a black flag with the number 40,000 on that. We're asking people to use it as their Facebook profile picture. And we are asking people to sign some of the petitions which we and Trua and others have for people. You can find it also, again, if you Google change.org Bedouin, you'll get to our petitions. And we think that we all must be putting pressure on the government. We've already had the reform movement in this country and the Reconstructionist movement in this country and the renewal movement speaking out about this. We've had 65 rabbis, Orthodox through Reform, in Great Britain, delivering a letter to the Israeli ambassador, and all this is having an effect. Today there was a discussion of this in the Knesset, and Benny Begin, the minister without portfolio in the previous government, who is shepherding this through, spoke about how personally angry he was at Rabbis for Human Rights and at myself personally because of this video. He was stung by it. He maintains that it'll be way less than 40,000 people, a minuscule number of people. Let him prove it. If he can show us his numbers and that our numbers are wrong, we'd be more than happy to pull the video. But he also said clearly, although he denies that so many people are going to be evicted, he said very clearly that the Bedouin are going to have to give up their claims to their lands. That's also unacceptable. So I don't like having people upset with me. I hope that he will meet with us and that we can come to some understanding, but understanding has to be one based on justice for all human beings created in God's image. That includes Jews, that includes Bedouin.
Thank you very much.
Sure.